Yo, how's it going? Welcome. We're live, and we're going to audit your channels. So is Rob. How's it going, Rob?
Whoa, he just dropped me straight in there. Blimey, I was still getting ready. And by the way, what's this? Mikesy, here comes the ad. Do you just assume that I play an ad every time? Am I that evil? Yes. Let's press the button. No, I'm not going to press the button just yet. I'm not going to just press the button. But hey, everybody.
Press the button.
Let's press some buttons and let's...
I'm just making it.
Blimey, Dan's all business today. Jeez.
Pressing buttons, sliding things over.
Oh, my goodness.
All right. Well, yeah. What do you guys think? Should we get started?
Sure, why not?
Yeah, why not? Run the ad.
We're on the clock here. Let's get moving.
I don't know what's going to end me today. But yeah, here's how this works, et cetera, et cetera.
Welcome to the vidIQ channel reviews live stream. Simply fill in the correct form in the video description and your channel will be considered for review during a live stream. Channel reviews are free, so no need to send us a super chat and don't spam us in the live chat. We'll ignore it and you may be put in timeout. If you need a channel audit right now, make sure to check out the vidIQ Coach AI tool that will help you with strategies, ideas, titles, scripts. Link in the description. It's a game changer. If you submit your channel for review, expect the following. We are sharing nothing more than our knowledge, experience and passion as fellow creators. Thank you to all of our moderators who help us out on the live stream every week. You know who you are. Give us a like if you enjoy this live stream, subscribe if you love it, and share it with like-minded fellow creators. All right, let's get started.
Excellent. That's how it works. Now, before we get started, I have to open another tab that I forgot to open because I'm doing a great job today. There we go. Everything's ready. Are you guys ready?
I think so. I mean, if this is your first time here, we are usually a lot more friendly and welcoming, but it's the end of a month.
Not today.
Dan's in a rush.
We got to make quota.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's true. Buy. We don't know what you're going to buy, but buy it.
Buy it.
Soon.
Buy things. No, we actually do have something really cool to share with you on that front, speaking of ads, but this is one I think you'll want to pay attention for, but we'll get to that a little bit later. How this works.
As MKBHD unboxed his... Oh, I've got to watch that. Oh, exciting.
Yeah, that was a few minutes before,
Can we just pause this live stream and watch it?
Yeah.
No, no.
Yes. So yes, be sure to go watch that at some point. If you've been submitting your channel in the forums below, we're going to be getting to random selections soon, but we always like to choose the first channels who submitted that caught our attention on the forums, and the first non-gaming channel that caught our attention today was Aprily. Concert tickets, merch guides. They focus specifically, I think, on BTS, but maybe some other stuff too. I thought this was a really interesting channel. They're giving advice on how to get concert tickets and things like that. So if you're new here, this is pretty much how it works. We find a channel and we start to dissect it and give tips and tricks on how maybe this specific channel can improve and how hopefully all of you can improve. We're not going to get to all of your channels today, unfortunately, but here we are looking at Aprily. So who would like to kick us off? I think Rob would.
Yeah, I'll kick us off. And also, I just want to mention that we are 5 subscribers away.
Wow.
1,761,000. So who's going to push us over the line and make it happen? Anyway, Dan.
You won't get a prize, but we'll talk about it a little bit.
No prizes whatsoever. So as you say, Dan, I think this is a really cool, interesting idea. Yeah, similar to when we have channels that recycle stuff on. I've just lost 3 subscribers. When we recycle something. Through eBay, like upcycling, that type of thing. This is all around the concept of getting cheaper tickets for events and stuff. As I believe it, maybe I'm looking too much into that. Concert tickets, merch guides, cool idea. I guess the immediate question I ask, just because of the thumbnails, is how are these actually delivered? If we maybe mouse over one of these, is it done through like an avatar of some kind, or is it a person on screen, or is it what looks to be just graphics? Oh, no, okay.
It's a human with a filter.
It's an emoji.
emoji filter type thing that you can do on, is it
iPhone.
Samsung phones and whatnot? On iPhone?
This looks like iPhone. This looks like me emoji.
So that is an interesting way of having a faceless, non-faceless channel, if you get what I mean. You protect your anonymity while still being able to present in front of the camera, which is really cool. I guess just from like an overall point of view is, I use this word a lot, committing to consistency, the posting irregularly, I would say, for this type of content, which given that the videos are 2, 3, 4 minutes long, I would imagine it'd be posting at a cadence of more like a video a week. And they haven't quite reached that cadence yet. But I could be wrong. It could take a lot of effort and research to produce these videos.
Jeff, what are your initial thoughts?
I mean, I think it's kind of cool. I mean, it's kind of a cool idea. I don't know how far you could take it, but so far it seems like they're doing fairly well with it as far as coming up with a variety of ideas for BTS fans. Now, mind you, there are a lot of them. BTS Army is a real thing. Yeah. So, that's a very niche way of getting into giving people advice for doing certain things. But I think there's going to be a bit of seasonality, and also it's really going to be dependent on them going on tour. So that's, that could be a bit of a problem with like getting views during kind of the down season. So, but I mean, otherwise, I think it's kind of cool, and I think it's cool that they're using the emoji to do their videos. I've seen that before. Viper's done that a few times. I did that a long time ago on my channel. I had a Hef emoji make an appearance. But yeah, I mean, either way, I mean, I think it looks kind of cool. The only thing I would say here, even then, even the thumbnails aren't super cluttered from what I've seen. So overall, I think it's kind of a cool idea. I'm just wondering how far they can take it with BTS, or if they've ever thought about expanding further into other K-pop acts that are similar that might give them more room to expand their channel.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I was going to add, I think if the value proposition of a channel is getting value from your BTS concert tickets and merch, maybe a stronger emphasis on the amount of money you can save, or the fact that you can get free stuff. Like it's sometimes mentioned here, free $5, gifts under 10, but it isn't explicit in every single video. And I'm wondering if that might be an opportunity, at least thumbnail wise.
The only thing I wanted to add is that I feel like there's potential to go outside of BTS and just help out concert goers in general. When I see videos like this, did we hit the?
We just made it.
Nobody unsubscribed now. So when you reach out to like one group of fans, like that's cool and all, but when you reach out to everybody, where you're talking about where to buy tickets and things like that, what is Rob?
this
Rob
could
needs
get boring.
help today.
This could get boring very quickly, but
like this video here, where you're not talking specifically about BTS, it's mostly like about buying tickets. Like when you cover these larger topics, you have these outlier moments on your channel. So it does make me feel like when Taylor Swift is having a concert soon or something like that, like why not focus on getting the tickets and tips and tricks and.
Please continue, Dan. Don't worry. Just
tips and tricks and everything like that to help concert goers with concert going, which is very difficult.
Yeah, I agree. There's a lot of different tours for a lot of popular artists that you can capitalize on. So, I mean, yeah, obviously Swifties is one of them. You've got Blackpink out there. You've got so many different things. And I strongly doubt that they only like BTS. I mean, that's entirely possible. I have met people that are very one-dimensional in their musical tastes. Yeah. So it's like, I'm not one of those people. Yeah, so I'm not one of those people. I'm very, very multi-genre. I love a ton of different artists, but I have met people like that. But they're few and far between. So I'm just wondering, I agree with you. I wonder if there's a way that they can start addressing more than just, narrowing it down. Like, hey, if you're a BTS Army person, hey, here's how you save. How about if you're looking to go to your next concert, here's how you can save some money, going through whoever, Ticketmaster or StubHub or whoever. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I think you're right. I think expanding it a little bit further to make it more consumable to a general audience makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it begs the question, can you grow a YouTube channel just by covering one band, or can you expand a little bit more to get more diversity on your channel and grow even faster.
Yeah, agreed.
Agreed.
Agreed. Okay, well, we will move on to the first gaming channel that's submitted on the form. But first, we have a special guest because I asked that question to AI Rob. And AI Rob might have some thoughts. Yeah, AI Rob is really helpful and been reprogrammed recently, too. So let's see.
Sorry, interrupted there. Well, don't worry too much about diversity or focusing on one thing. You know, the actual secret is to always have an umbrella opened when you record your videos. It may not sound logical, but it's
even indoors.
Yes, rain or shine, inside or outside. An opened umbrella, it's quite peculiar, but it works.
There you go.
You see. Also, just to remind everyone, you can unsubscribe if you want. I hope you don't. So now my clogs are scuffed and it's a little upsetting. I mean, they were perfectly fine, and then, well, you know, they've seen better times. Anyway, back to you.
AI Rob.
Thanks myself.
There you go. I
Sage words.
I do hope that was helpful for Aprily. We'll move on to the first gaming channel that caught our attention on the gaming forum, and that was Crosshair. And you know what's really cool about Crosshair is that before the stream started, I noticed a message. They just got monetized like 2 hours after our stream ended last week.
Sweet.
Congrats. And now we're going to look at your channel. That's not why we picked the channel. I just happened to notice your name after picking the channel. So that was kind of cool. And what jumped out at me immediately was a series they're doing. You would be forgiven for thinking it's a holiday series of some kind.
Yeah.
But it is simply a Call of Duty series with the split screen kind of thumbnails. And I've been an advocate for a while now for doing these types of things where you kind of do like a long running series. Hopefully the plan is to turn this into like one big video chronicling the entire thing, where you take all these videos and maybe compile them into one. However, I do think you could be doing a bit better in terms of views on this series if you avoid the thumbnail wallpaper that we're seeing. Because the split screen thumbnail is great, I think, for the final video where you compile everything together. But if you're just doing day 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, those should probably stand on their own in some way, just to talk about a specific thing that made this video stand out. Like, why am I watching this? Why should I watch episode 10? Did you try a different tactic? Did something go horribly wrong? Did you get your first win where you were at the top of the leaderboard? Like, nothing in the thumbnail is changing other than the day number on the left, because we have the kill to death ratio of like 1.01 in every single one. So you're kind of boasting that your kill to death ratio never changes, which is interesting. And there's, you know, this tease of like you getting a 9.99 kill to death ratio by day 30, but that hasn't happened yet. Like, so you're kind of, I think you're kind of wasting this opportunity with the split screen thumbnail. That was the thing that jumped out at me immediately, because I do think stuff like this can work, but this is the execution, especially in the packaging, is where I'm a bit bothered.
I can't really go anywhere else, Dan, other than to say, hey, Crosshairs, stop phoning it in with a packaging. Because as you say, the thumbnails are so identical that from one day to another, because they're posting every single day, you may, as a viewer, think, have I watched this video already? I don't know. Because the only thing that somebody is changing is the day number in both the title and the thumbnail. So the title really should be trying to explain something from the day, because these are not live streams, right? These are filmed and then edited and then put together. So the creator knows what the story of the video is, and that should be emphasized to some effect in the videos. And you can see there's always this classic case of viewer fatigue in these series. So if you scroll down to the bottom of this series starting, it starts off relatively well. And with one of our new tools here, which is kind of like the multiplier effect, it's basically saying this video got 5 times as many views as average for this channel. And it did 1,500 views. But then you go to day 2, day 3, and you can already see that the view counts are starting to slowly decline. There's 1 or 2 outliers, but you would hope that the view counts would be remaining stable, perhaps even increasing. And then, yeah, Dan, it is all leading up to that big final day epic that they'll release after all of these are complete, right? Maybe a few weeks, month afterwards.
One would assume. And I think if you're not going to explain this in the title, which I think it's fine, you can use the same title, but you definitely need the thumbnail at least to tell a different story every day, at the very least. And I say that because of channels like Ryan Trahan, where he replicated the Penny series title, but changed the thumbnail to tell a different story, you know? And you can do this. The other thing I was going to say is that solo quads resurgence sounds like just a game mode in the game. I don't play the game, so I could be wrong, but I would hope, or I would expect that this challenge is going to be something that's a little more than just the fact that you're playing for 30 days. I think it needs another twist to it in order for like that maximum view potential. I'm not saying this is bad and it's not worth doing, because I mean, the first episode getting 1.4K views is great, but the next time you attempt something like this, think about how can I crank it up a notch? What if you played for 30 days with only melee? No guns. You know what I mean? Like something simple like that everyone who plays the game understands immediately. And then is like this series, this 30-day series or a week-long series, whatever, we were chronicling how it all went. When I see views going down like this, that I feel like is to be expected. Like, yes, the first episode, people should be going back and watching that. It should have more views, but these should have a lot more views, I think, especially after 2 weeks, 1.4K views. And then just a few days later, where we're not really cracking 1,000 anymore. So I would expect the earlier episodes to have more views, but I would expect that to continue throughout all the videos. Like now they're all gradually going up. And I don't know if that's happening. Like if we just, let's pick on just this one here. And then if we let our tool load here, we can see our tools changed a little bit, which I like. I just have to figure out exactly where all the things are now. There's a graph. Where's the graph, Rob?
I don't think it would display on this video.
Okay.
Because it's not being tracked.
Right. Okay, so look in your analytics and just check out, is it still getting views today? Because if it's not, if these middle episodes are not getting views, that's a good sign that people aren't carrying through the series. And you definitely want them to do that. I would recommend taking the time on the thumbnails. If you're not willing to go back and change all of these thumbnails, just do it for your next one. Put the day 14 in like the corner, so it's not like super big or anything, and put something in that thumbnail that tells a bit more of a story about what happened in that episode. Give it a try.
The series is missing a why. Like, this is a what. I'm playing this thing in this game for this period of time, and my question as a viewer is, why should I care? Are there stakes to this, or is there a reward at the end of this? And we don't know at this point.
Yeah, so there's a couple of things there that had I been, coaching this particular creator myself, it would have been, I completely agree with you guys. I would have been like, all right, how do we take this a step further than just playing 30 days? Because what's going to stop the next, 50 other creators from doing the same thing, who are going to play the game for the next 30 days anyway, right? So we want to make sure, is it a specific game mode? Are you going to do different game modes every day? Are you going to handicap yourself in some way every single day that's different from the previous day? And on top of that, I wouldn't let thumbnail wallpaper and title wallpaper fly like this. So there's a packaging issue first, and then firstly, there's the issue of making the challenge more of a why, giving it more of a reason for somebody to click. And then you have the same title and the same thumbnail, essentially, with the exception of a number change. And that's just not enough. You have to take it a step further to get people to want to click, and it's evident in the views that are coming in for this. So we don't know what we don't know as a younger creator or a newer creator sometimes. But yeah, we just got to take it a step further. So we're not trying to come down on you, Crosshair. We just want to make sure that even moving forward in the series, you could still take it up a notch and actually do this a little bit better if you choose to. But that's you got some pretty solid advice here so far from Dan and Rob.
I don't know, Dan, would you say this is true? I guess we are big gamers. We're not knowledgeable, or at least I'm certainly not knowledgeable.
I would like to consider myself knowledgeable, or at least a student of YouTube.
I just throw around frontier gibberish when it comes to gaming, which we'll obviously talk about a little bit now with our indulgent corner, which is, what video game have you been playing? Do let us know in the comments. I love to ask Jeff and Dan what they're currently playing. And I think, Dan, there's only one game occupying your time, which is, along with apparently 99.9% of other gamers right now, Pal World. Correct?
Have you tried it yet?
I have not tried it. Oh. You know me, I will wait 18 months to try any game due to cost and just such a back catalogue that I need to catch up on.
Well, it's not at like a full price, AAA, but yeah, all right, yeah, that's how you follow a trend, I suppose. It's one way to do it.
Indeed, that's why I'm not knowledgeable about gaming.
Jeff.
What did I jump back into? I started playing Starfield again. So just jump back in. Yeah. So just been playing that. So nothing too wild. Just something to help me take my mind off of stuff.
I don't know if this is a game or like IRL paycheck roulette that Oso Inari is playing. Resident Evil 2 Original Brawlhalla. I am still working my way through Guardians of the Galaxy. On the final couple of chapters now. Still really enjoying it as a interactive movie. And now that I have a Quest 3, I'm just trying to get back into Quest gaming. So if anybody's English and like cricket, IB Cricket is one of the greatest games of all time, but it's for a very select niche audience. And Asgard's Wrath, that is kind of like the new showcase on the Quest 3. And yeah, that's good. I'm enjoying that. So that's what I've been playing.
Cool.
Hey, AI Rob, take a little break. What game are you playing right now? What video game? All right, we'll hear from him. I do want to do some super chats as well. Now, we do take your super chats throughout the live stream. They will not get you any kind of channel review, but if we have time, we will certainly try and answer your questions. But we need to get AI Rob in on the gaming corner here. We can't just leave him out. That's not fair. So here he comes. He's going to tell us what game he's been playing.
But he's muted.
Oh.
Aren't the key to YouTube success? Subscribers are. And instead of playing a game, try spending more time knowingly mixing stripes and polka dots in your clothes while recording. The mismatch, despite going against fashion logic, it attracts subscribers. And here's a scary thought. If you don't like this advice, you could unsubscribe. So I hope beloved vlogs, they're scuffed again. It's terribly upsetting. Anyway, next question.
Okay.
What a guy.
That poor guy. He's going through some stuff.
He's the epitome of self-sabotage.
Version 0003, remember? So
yeah.
This is the worst it's going to be. Like, it can only get better.
All right. Our first super check is for D9, who says, I hope everyone has a great day. Thank you, D9. Appreciate it. Gaming with Debbie for 6 months now has been a member. So thank you.
Oh, that means to get sound effect, right? There we thank you. Thank you. Jeff, just play it again. New members, existing members get a sound effect every single week. And for Jeff, it is...
Hold up.
That.
Life with Lucian and Glenn, thank you. Appreciate the super there. Cash Piece? Saying that right? Our video reviews coming back this year. I'm not going to say no. We kind of throw them into this stream sometimes. Like we'll see a video like, oh, let's check it out. I don't know if it'll be a separate stream or not. Sometimes we just test stuff and it goes away and it comes back. And yeah, I think that's the most fair answer I can give there. Old Man Gib, how's it going? Hey, Dan. Why did I get a visit from the Furries in Black after Googling your channel? Not cool. That must be AI Rob. You must be confused. I think you Googled AI Rob's channel, and I'll ask him about that. In fact, I'm not going to because I don't know what the heck it's going to say if I do.
Was it AI Dan?
It could have been AI Dan. I don't know. So maybe someone's made AI Dan. Nick Hine is back. Is it true that in the description links to other... Is it true that in the description links to another video, another of your videos will work better for growth as it keeps viewers on your channel and on YouTube and on YouTube and not let outside of YouTube?
I'm not going to say that this is like better for growth, but one of the things that I would do and what I recommend is if you're going to link someone to another video, you want to make sure that you're linking in this. You want to link the same video in multiple places, like a pinned comment, same link, your description, same link, your end screen, same link, a card, same link, so that you have 4 places that are taking people from your current video to another one of your videos. That can help. To keep people on your channel if you want to start making like returning viewers. It's a good idea. Is it going to help? Is it going to be a 9-day difference? Don't think so, but it can help.
I think they're also referring to like leading them off platform as well.
Yeah, that's not that big of a deal as it used to be, though.
I guess that's a decision for the creator. Do you want to keep people on the YouTube platform and maybe grow your channel in some capacity, or do you want to get them onto a website and sell them something for $100 because they're so loyal and committed to your content and trust you that you're gonna win that sales, so to speak. I think it changes over time, and it shouldn't be on every single video.
Depends on the goal of the video and the goal of the channel. I agree.
Exactly.
Free Game Pass Hunters, thanks for your help. Thank you. Appreciate the super.
So $10. Awesome.
Otto Inari says, as a data guy, I look at my analytics too much. Would you consider revisiting some analytics videos since some on the channel are 4 years old?
Ooh, that's a good question for you guys.
There's no reason not to.
What's the question? Would you consider revisiting some analytics videos? Oh, right. I was remaking some analytics videos. Yeah.
2024 versions of some of the older videos on the channel.
So, Dan, we did do a conversation about this, didn't we? Like about 8 months ago, where we just had like a free-form chat, like which is the most important analytic on YouTube. And I think we agreed on impressions. So I can't remember what video that's called, because obviously we don't make anything for search these days because we're a bit annoying like that. But yeah, we've done something fairly recently. We kind of just... The problem is, this is one of these packaging questions. Like, if you package a video like what are the most important analytics on YouTube, nobody watches it. But if you package a video along the lines of small channels need to pay attention to this, and you include some analytics along with some other strategy, then it becomes a more enticing video to watch. But just raw analytics videos are, as you say, it's kind of a bit of a niche area, and only certain people find it interesting.
Yeah. Yep. BTS is in the military, so it may be hard for them. Army here.
I was going to check with that. Yeah, isn't one of them doing the... Because they're South Korean, right?
It's like mandatory that... I thought it was like all of them, wasn't it? Or I guess it's a certain age. Depends.
Yeah, I don't know. That's outside of my purview. But if Kathy says that's the case, then that's the case.
They're doing an Elvis.
Could be.
Design Burst.
The streak continues.
If you're new, focus on search-based content. What do you think about this for noobs? How important is SEO? Is it fine to accept SEO service offers?
I would say, firstly, SEO service offers 99.9% of the time are complete freaking scams. So just being real, that's really what that is. If you're new and focused on search-based content, I mean, yeah, you can do that depending on what kind of content you're making. More than anything else, I wouldn't be worried about search-based content so much as figuring out, one, what are your goals for the channel? And you have to be honest with yourself. Are you trying to go full-time? Are you trying to make money? Or are you just trying to grow a channel and find a community, build a community? Figure that out, and then figure out exactly who you're talking to. Who is your target audience? Who is that exact person that you're trying to reach, and then make every single video for them. That's what I would be doing if I could go back and start over. That's exactly how I would approach it. So I wouldn't worry about so much about SEO. I wouldn't be so much worried about that stuff. All the minutia, I wouldn't worry about that. Worry about who you're making videos for and how you can reach that person. That's the thing you should be worried about.
What I would add, and not to disagree with Jeff, but I remember Todd saying that when YouTube doesn't have much information about you and your videos, it does rely a little bit more on metadata. But we're not talking about video tags here. What we're talking about is the title and possibly bits and pieces in the description. And I generally find that a channel's first success tends to be something in search, just because, again, it's easier to find with viewer intent. But once you have that little bit of success, you want to drive them onto browse and suggested as quickly as possible. I would say irrespective of what type of channel you are, whether you are a utility how-to based channel, the real riches are from the 70% of views coming from recommended on YouTube.
Yep. Yes, sir.
Bizarro Lyrics. Hey, gents, all of the subs on my channel, of all the subs on my channel, only one is visible. Who are those others? Bots, spies, poltergeists?
No, it's just people who don't leave their subscriptions public. That's all.
Correct.
Yep.
Yeah. Correct.
Yancey Main, I'm saying that correctly. How will you know if I've been banned from monetization?
Well, it depends if you're already in a YouTube partner program. If you're already in the YouTube partner program, you'll be emailed to say that you've been removed from the YouTube partner program. And if you apply for the YouTube partner program and you're rejected, they should tell you why. So you should always know why you've been rejected or removed, not necessarily banned. Yeah. I think if you're getting banned from monetization, then you've probably got bigger problems of being maybe community guideline strikes and being terminated from YouTube entirely.
Yep.
Last question here before we go back to looking at some channels, and we'll come back to your questions. It's from Nick Hine again. After your audit, my channel is doing great. What's the magic? I didn't change much. It's just flourishing. How did you guys do it? Well, I'm just going to be corny and say I think the magic came from within, because what happened was you watched the stream, you internalized some of it, your subconscious chewed on it after you went to bed that night. You woke up and you started changing a little bit of things just here and there. Maybe it's just the way you're telling stories. Maybe these stories were always going to do good. You know, it's difficult to know, obviously, but you could just be really someone who takes in information and manages to execute really well.
From what I remember, Dan, I think they'd already kind of nailed the format, and like we were just spreading the love about the channel and not really giving them too many big suggestions. It was more pointers. So I think, Nick, you were already on the right track with where you were going. I was so hoping Jeff was going to play the recorded Titanic music then as like a share and live. Here it goes. Nick, it's beautiful, man. Those science fiction stories you're putting together. Incredible.
Okay.
It's a beautiful thing.
Okay. Well, that was a great super chat to end that section on. Let's go back to channels. So we have some channels here. I picked this one. It's the Craft Cave, excuse me. I thought this channel was so interesting because they said their specific niche on YouTube was teaching like terrain building or something like that. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
So it's literally like miniature like terrain pieces that they teach people how to make. And some of it looks really incredible. All of it looks really incredible. I couldn't do this.
Is this for like Warhammer or something like that?
I was thinking Warhammer or like World War II dioramas and that type of thing. Cool.
Doesn't say Warhammer anywhere, and it wasn't a gaming channel or anything.
No, but it could be used for it. Like if ever you walk past one of the Warhammer or Games Workshops, you'll see all of the coolly painted models, but then like ruins and wrecks and bridges, and this is the type of stuff that would suit any of those models.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to talk about it because immediately one piece of advice jumped out in my head just right away when I saw this. And that was that I feel like you need to broaden a little bit in terms of scope and niche, because you are catering to, I believe, in a lot of these videos, a very small audience. But there's a lot of people who probably want to just see something cool, right? Maybe they don't want to make this for themselves, but they're like, that looks awesome, and they're going to watch. And a great example of this is Modular Castle Ruins Scatter Terrain. I ruined this castle. It looks cool. It got over 1,000 views. And I feel like just from the title and thumbnail alone, anyone could watch this, and they're not coming at it from a tutorial kind of mindset. Oh, how do I make that? It's more of like oh, wow, this person makes really intricate things. That's my first bit of advice right there. I think what they're doing is incredible. And I feel like they don't need to limit themselves to, I'm just going to teach people how to do this, and that's it. Should we look at one for a minute?
Sure.
We're looking for an awesome and epic way to breathe life.
Oh, they got one of those electronic, what are they called? Lazy Susans. I know that's a really strange name, but
I've had this
spinning table
lights for a little while now, and I've been wanting to do a forge build for just as long. So the first thing I did was just take out that plastic foam and test it. And the nice thing about these is it has kind of an orange.
You know what's really cool as well about this is it's really well lit, because often these types of videos are just poorly lit, and they've decided to film it, edit it, and then do a voiceover narration, it feels like. So it's cutting out all of the chaff and just telling you exactly what you need to know to get the idea of what they're building.
Yeah, it's really, truly excellent work. Very intricate. I think it's really fun to see it come together. I would love to see you, like, with intent, like, make a video that's like not specifically focused on an audience who is building this for themselves, although they would get something out of it still. But when you say things like, oh, you can try this for your build, I would reframe it a little bit. Like, talk about how you made this epic thing. Talk about how long it took you. Show a picture that kind of gives people an idea of the scope and the scale of the project. And just, I would love to see you try one video where you kind of reframe the sub, like you all you're doing is shifting the audience, and it's in the way you title the video. It's in the way you talk during the video. It's like, my audience is no longer just people who build. It's people who find this interesting. And that one shift in mindset could open up a lot of doors in terms of like new people coming in to watch the videos.
Yeah, similar to the way that you see woodworking content go viral on YouTube. because the way that they package and speak in the video is not meant just for woodworkers. They're addressing anyone who finds watching a piece of wood being turned into something else satisfying. And that's where they get the massive amount of views from via browse, as opposed to people who are specifically searching how to build, you know, a birdhouse or something like that.
Two things I want to point out. Dan, could you just go back to that video? You were trying to show something from our tool in a previous video and it wasn't working just because it wasn't tracking, but that's how you can see how this video is performing better than expectation on the channel. And so that was one thing just to highlight. But then go back to the channel.
It's worth pointing out, this is channel based too. This is an outlier for this channel.
Yeah, correct. A critique of the thumbnails would be, and this is coming from a conversation I've recently had with April Lynn. If you haven't seen April Lynn yet, just check out her channel. She does incredible videos, like epic videos on intros and thumbnails. She talks about like the main character of a thumbnail, and that doesn't mean a person. It's talking about the elements. And if I was to ask you what are the main characters of these thumbnails, for me it's the text, and I think that text is just a little too overpowering for these thumbnails. I want the actual model to be the main character. You can still have text in there. It just means that it shouldn't be drawing my eye, and like my eye is just stuck on simple LED forge as opposed to the forge itself. And maybe if you'd added some, you know, artificial glow to the light on there just to give it a bit more presence and standing. That's the thumbnails. Don't get me wrong, they're generally fine. They're in a good place already with the thumbnails, but I think the text is just a little too dominant.
Yeah. I don't love the blur because I feel like this would be better suited for the scenery that it's actually meant for, like the forge in like a proper build of some kind. And you could cut it out still, but I wouldn't blur this heavy if that's the case. I think it might give people a better idea of the scope if you avoided that. In like the little bridge is a good example where it's just like a split screen and it's not overly blurred. This one's the well is a good example as well, because it's like sitting on the right side and you can tell it's on some grass and there's some trees and stuff, but it's not heavily like blurred out. So sometimes you could put like a little outline around the thing just to give it that pop that it needs. But I just think part of this, the coolness of this is like the scale. If you can capture that scale somehow in the picture, I think that helps a lot.
Can we just do a quick search for, you see, I'm not sure what the search term would be here. It's something like how to build scenery for Warhammer 40k or something. Maybe just Warhammer 40k scenery. I'm not sure if it's going to pick it up properly. DIY scenery. I'm just wondering if is it worth actually, because the first thing that came to my mind in my head was Warhammer, and then Jeff said it out loud, and I thought, maybe, you know, we've just had a conversation about SEO. Is just including that. Maybe it's an experiment. They have a series where they're building terrain, especially for Warhammer fans. Even if they're not interested in it themselves, they can, because as you said, all of the stuff on that channel can be used in Warhammer, and they can just include that in their pitch. I know that might mean that they're going down perhaps the wrong audience route. It's just a thought.
Yeah. There's a lot of good examples of the scale I was talking about, especially this thumbnail here, where you have the build and you have a hand pointing to just kind of give it that sense of like, oh, I see. It's a really intricate, small build. This one's really good too, with the wall broken and the person's face back there.
Yeah.
Really good example of thumbnails here. So this is a good example too of anytime you're thinking like, oh, I need like a good thumbnail for this video, it's difficult to do, but try looking a bit outside your niche, just a bit. Because this person who we were just looking at wasn't making Warhammer builds, and yet this is like the perfect category of YouTube for them to be searching for, to get a sense of like how could they do their thumbnails and level them up a little bit.
Yep, agreed.
So that was the cave craft, or the craft cave. I don't know why I keep saying the cave craft. And thank you for submitting your channel. The next channel on the list, Rob, you give us this one.
Yeah, hello, dirtberserker. What's intriguing about this channel is just the consistency of the view counts for me, in that they've got 100 subscribers, but each of these videos are getting way more views and subscribers, so that's already very encouraging with a few outliers. And it's an interesting topic of conversation in terms of the thumbnails themselves. I don't know. Would you call these exciting, interesting? I'm not sure, but would you call them consistent and well branded? Yes.
Yeah.
And again, the titles, we see this concept of including a pipe, which automatically means I'm going to write 2 different titles in my title. And mountain biking Santiago Oaks seems to be anything after the pipe feels like an SEO play. And again, would we recommend that? Not necessarily, but again, it's working for this channel. So I'm trying to figure out what they should keep and what they should maybe experiment with. And I think it's like this complete consistency. The video lengths, they seem to have nailed what video length they want as well. It's almost as if I need to kind of just watch the first 10 to 15 seconds to get a further idea of what's going on here, because it says uncut runs as well. So like how much editing is going into this. All right, so coming next, I've got a bit of a tease.
I don't know what kind of music that is, but we get a sense of
Yeah.
noise.
Sure.
I just, once we get out of coming up next, I want to know if they talk.
Yeah.
A good job with the stability on your cameras, by the way. I've tried to capture footage like this before, and it's a nightmare. So you did a really good job with the stability. Okay, so it's still music.
Oh.
That was a bit awkward for them. I heard someone go, but if the music's so loud, I don't think that was like intentional. I saw morning, there's a little caption there. This is like our thumbnail, I think.
Yeah. It's artistic.
I would say
jump like 3 minutes in and see if there's any narration.
Here's what I'll say before we do. You have like 2 to 3 intros on this video. You have a very, very long coming up next, which I don't think is necessary for this kind of content, but I could be wrong. And then you have the intro where you ride up to like this point where the thumbnail is and you have your branded logo on there. And then the intro's still going, like the chapter still goes until we finally hit the first actual chapter. So I would say this is like this is a minute long intro. And I don't know if that's necessary. If I was to do a video review right now, that would be my one thing, because I'm kind of waiting for the video to start.
So check audience retention in that first 30 seconds.
Yeah. So now we're in the actual like ride, and it's music, which is fine.
You're right, Dan. It's really well stabilized.
Yeah, it's looking good. I'm not finding
looking at the horizon, it's like hardly moving. It's just kind of, well, it's not jolting. I mean,
right. Like I don't have to look down at the wheel to like reduce motion sickness. You know, I can enjoy the view ahead of me. Ooh. Oh, wait a minute. Okay.
So it's just the raw footage from the video.
Yeah.
So like I said, there's some rule breaking going on here, I think, with the content, but there's success. So I don't want to necessarily tell them to stop doing anything that they're doing.
I don't either. I can imagine a more vloggy style of these videos, but that doesn't seem like their vibe. I can certainly imagine the vlog of like starting in the morning, getting your bike loaded up. You have the camera, you're holding it, you're talking about where you're going. You get some B-roll of you driving to the place. Like, you know, just a cool, it's a mountain biking channel, but you give it like a cool vibe. Like I could totally see you going through all those steps and doing much heavier edits on your videos. And I can see those doing really well. However, there's a balance here. Sometimes you just want to make stuff like this. So you don't want to do all that extra work. And that's totally cool too. Anything we would change, I do think those intros could be shortened a little bit to help with retention, things like that. Anything we would change and help with in terms of just like discoverability.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned the pipe in the second title.
Yeah.
Might not necessarily need, you could try a video where you don't have that just to see. You can always add it back if you're feeling like it's underperforming.
Because it's included in the text in the title is supporting that SEO pitch, isn't it? San Juan Hills, Santiago Oaks, Sycamore Canyon.
Feels like there's a way that they can include that in the title and just make it one coherent sentence instead of 2 split. So, because there's one that's could you trust your traction on this steep terrain? mountain biking San Juan Hills? You know, could you trust your traction on, you know, while mountain biking in the San Juan Hills? You know, something like that, where you can still have those. If you have to have those keywords in there for the specific location, you could find a way of actually making that into a sentence that makes sense to humans instead of trying to write something that appeals to SEO or search engines.
Yeah.
The question to the channel is, where does your traffic come from? If it's already mostly browse and suggested, let's experiment with taking out the SEO and thinking about like trying to pitch a better intriguing story in a title. Because I know they're probably limited to about, well, I know the bit after the pipe is about 30 characters. So that means I've only got maybe like 40 characters to play with. Whereas if you're not worrying about the SEO bit, you've got a bit more room to play with in trying to tell a story. Not that the titles they're not too bad to begin with.
Right. But what if they looked a little cleaner? Like,
yeah.
I have a thing where if I see a title that's been cut off, even if it looks like this, where there's a pipe and I'm like not supposed to really pay attention to the second half of it, I start to, I don't know, my eyes glaze over a little bit. It just feels like the title version of a wall of text. And it might affect my click. I don't know. It's hard to say. But when I see titles like this, there is something about my brain where I don't want to read them. That could just be a me thing. You guys have heard me read out loud before. You know I don't like it. But there is that going on with me.
Each title is a question as well.
Yeah, that's a cool way to do it, actually, I think. Would you bail or blast down these SoCal jump trails? You know, that's pretty cool. All right. So those were our pre-selected channels. We're about to get into random selected channels. We have a few orders of business, first and foremost.
Ooh, okay.
I'd mentioned something cool that's happening later today, and I want you guys to all be aware of this. There is a link down below. But if you know anything about YouTuber Eric, you may be excited to know, if you are rocking vidIQ Boost or Max right now, that later today, he's going to be doing an AMA with us. So please go and check your dashboard in our web app. That is linked down below. If you're a Boost user, there's going to be an events tab up here. If you're a Max user, there's going to be a Max tab. And that is where you can find this if you scroll down a little bit. It's happening at 1 p.m. Eastern time today. So whatever time zone that is for you, go ahead and Google up some time zone math. And it's not too late to submit a question if you go there now. So that's happening pretty soon after.
Is that basically 2 hours from now, Dan?
I think so.
From right now, if you're watching live.
Yep. So there you go. If you're watching this after the fact, it might be too late. But the session should be up for you after the fact.
And as a follow-up, people who do have Boost now are getting a lot more access to these types of events and also previous conversations that we've had. Like, it's fair to say now that all of the pre-recorded conversations that were only available to vidIQ Max users are now available to all Boost users as well. So if you haven't checked the area recently and you are a Boost user, you've now got access to, I think, Jeff, am I right in thinking about 50 to 60 sort of conversations with industry experts?
Mm-hmm.
Traveling Russell, if you got vidIQ Boost or Max, you can ask that question yourself.
Yep.
So yes, I just want to point this out, call this out for you. If you don't have vidIQ Boost or Max, it's not too late. You can go sign up at vidIQ.com and go ahead and get in there. That's our pitch. That's it for the ads today. There you go.
And a hello to welcome the new family, the Creator Now family who've joined us here at vidIQ.
Yes, absolutely. Welcome to Creator Now. Very excited to have you with us. So real quick, let's go ahead and take on some of these super chat questions before we move on to random selections. We have AI Engineer Hub. Have a small channel with shorts, mostly AI topics, and 24/7 AI music stream. Sometimes my uploaded shorts are literally 0 impressions. Why might the algorithm not show them in the shorts feed? Ooh. Well,
yeah, you see, this is just my continued conspiracy theory that if YouTube identifies that shorts content is AI generated in some fashion, like it cannot distinguish whether or not a human has had any input in a video, does it shadow ban the contents?
I agree with Rob.
We have had a bit of experience with this. John, in kind of when he was making a video for us, he set up a AI channel that was fully AI automated in the sense that it created the videos and automatically uploaded them to YouTube. And that suffered from the same issue, whereby it was just not even any views. But we're not YouTube, so we can't confirm that.
Yeah. And that's the thing where I've actually agreed with Rob, because I had a creator reach out to me who was doing something very similar and 0 impressions and 0 views. And even though YouTube hasn't come out and said it, which makes sense for them not to, it's something where I've seen evidence of it. And this is why when people approach me and say, well, this is what I'm trying to grow, I say, I wish you the best of luck. But when you're actually serious, you're going to probably want to get away from that and actually start, making content as opposed to having a system make it for you.
I guess the problem is if one of these channels is successful and they do a tutorial on it, everyone's going to do it.
Exactly.
And then we're in a whole world of hurt.
They're the bane of my existence.
There's one person we can ask this question to.
Yeah. Okay.
AI Rob, we have a creator here who feels like their AI generated content is not getting any views on YouTube. What can you say to this creator to help encourage them so they can get more views?
Isn't it ironic that we were just talking about how really should be careful of using AI, and then we just throw it over to our own AI?
The point I want to make,
ban this live stream.
The point I want to make is that this is a great way to use AI as like a supplement to your content.
Right.
This kind of thing works really well, in my opinion. But let's see what AI Rob has to say. Maybe he disagrees.
He's very slow today, Dan. Is he?
Oh, sorry. Didn't mean to intrude, but
no
the
problem.
thing here is views. They may seem important, but no. Sub-subscribers are what it's really about. For AI content, I mean, it sounds absolutely crazy, but try talking to your computer or AI system before you film. Yeah, a little pep talk.
Yeah,
some extra channel.
Like
it's strange, but it's worked before. Yes, and just to put it out there, you can unsubscribe.
Oh.
Please don't. Sorry to bring it up, but did I tell you about my clogs?
He's so
They are not just
indecisive,
stuff.
isn't he?
Great too. It's really, really got me teetering. Anyway.
I think AI Rob needs a confidence AI coach for next week, Dan.
Yeah, he's not feeling too good. I did try to give him a pep talk, like he said, and he's gotten maybe like 10% better today, but we'll try and get it figured out. So, AI Engineer Hub, I hope that AI Rob was of any use to you. Silver Space, I've been on GTA 5 online, I'm on my GTA phase. Oh, it's Gaming Corner. Yes.
Okay, cool.
That's our fault. I mean, Mike, e-bikes and pugs. Thank you for your super chat.
Sir, I'm gonna need you to work on that channel name, sir. Like, really? I don't mean to be rude or anything, but when I started reading that, I almost got confused first. I'm like, am I having an aneurysm? What is happening here?
No, this is Mike. I don't know what's confusing about that. That's the one.
Yeah,
thing
what the heck? Come on, man. Come on.
Highly recommend AI Coach and the coaching with vidIQ. Thanks to all that Pepina they're complimenting their coach, but I'm reading like like AI Rob.
What is happening here?
I just my brain.
Let's do that again. Let's do it again. Highly recommend the AI Coach and coaching with vidIQ. Thanks to all of that and Pepina, we are rocking. So.
Perfect.
Beautiful.
Jeff is good at reading. Patrick David says, if you have a video that's going well, but your quality, sound, and editing has greatly improved, do you redo it, delete it, or do a different version?
Different version.
Yeah,
let's just remake it.
Anaholics, I think so. As a non-native English speaker like me, would you recommend a channel in Dutch, my native language, and perhaps later let it be translated by YouTube?
So this is always a conundrum, isn't it? Whereby most creators feel as if the biggest audience on YouTube is English speaking, and so they gravitate towards that audience. Now, sometimes English as a second language can be a hindrance to the audience. Sometimes it can be a benefit because the audience just loves the way you speak English in that kind of slightly unique accent that you have and twang. There are many creators whose English is their second language that succeed on YouTube. But what you also have to consider is that you may be neglecting your native language where there's such a Yes, smaller pond, but it has less fish in it, and like you can just own that pond and be the authority in Dutch for your topic, whatever that topic is. I don't know what it comes down to, like how confident your English is in from a Dutch speaker, which I'm sure is awesome because I know all Dutch people and Scandinavians can speak English far better than us, to be honest.
Me.
Yeah. Maybe we should get Anaholics to read out our super chats, Dan.
That's a good idea. Yeah. Certainly can't let AI Rob do it. Lori, thank you for the super. I'm brand new to YouTube and VRA. In 30 days, YouTube have helped me so much. Oh, you have helped me so much. One short actually just gained 2.k views in 6 hours. I was blown away. Thank you. I'm working stars again. That's awesome.
Cool.
Excellent work. Showtime CMRT gave us a super chat. Thank you. Ziggy, could there be a reason why a channel that started a month ago has a spike of 30,000 views and in a few days falls to 2,000 views per day and keeps falling?
Well, most likely you had a video that popped off and you haven't followed up with anything that people found that exciting yet.
That's, yeah. I mean, it's kind of a lesson of like, you're not necessarily owed views just because you get to a certain level on a video. It doesn't mean the next video is going to be there too. The benchmark doesn't hold like that. If you look at channels with 1 million subscribers from like ages ago and they're still uploading today, they're not at where they were when the trend they were on was hot. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It is a bit relentless, but it's kind of YouTube in the audience saying, that's cool. I'll do it again.
Yep.
It's like Russell Crowe opening out his arms saying, are you not entertained? And the mob wants to be entertained yet more.
All right. Next up, we have... Did we already do this one? Yes.
Yes.
I lost track. Sorry.
Yep.
Ziggy, Plant in Rest. Thank you for the super sticker. Appreciate you. Mike, e-bikes and pugs. What category should I put my e-bike channel in? Travel, people, or technology?
It honestly doesn't matter. Pick whichever one goes to whichever one you feel is the closest to what kind of content you're making. Channel categories, people, it's not going to make a difference as far as video performance is concerned. So
correct.
Yep.
We'll look at modern homeschooling with Allie. Where can we connect with other female creators wanting an accountability group in similar niches? Discord told me Walmart. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry to hear that. Messed up. So it is tough. You could look in like different subreddits and things like that. Maybe Facebook groups. I don't know. Specifics, I'm not really sure. I don't know if you guys have any tips.
Is it fair to say that that's a good question? I feel as if vidIQ is going to try, as a company, is going to try and tackle this question a little bit of trying to connect creators from similar niches. So stay tuned to us. But like, as you say, Dan, Reddit's probably a good place. It may be worth watching your favorite creators and reaching out to them as like saying, hey, I'm a fellow creator in your space and I'd love to not collaborate with you, not necessarily collaborate. I'm not looking for like a swap of subscribers and views, but I just want to talk to you as a creator, a friend. I'm in the same space as you. I understand the pains, the struggles, the fears, but also the satisfaction and enjoyment. Let's have a virtual coffee.
I made a lot of creator friends just by like engaging with the folks I was watching in social media. I wasn't asking anything of them. It was just mostly starting a conversation like, hey, I love what you said about this video. Or if they had, back when I was on Twitter, when they had like a tweet that I not only liked, I would comment on it and just like give my take or something, like just kind of naturally build relationships. And before you know it, you could be in with a whole group of channels like yourself.
Yeah, that's outreach is going to be key. I think I've seen some other people already respond, some other creators respond in the chat about that. So it could be something where you could, if you want to take it upon yourself, you could open up a space, create a space that's going to be for the people that you want to connect with, and then kind of go that route. I don't know if there are any female specific spaces because I personally wouldn't be looking for those. I mean, I'm just not, it's just not what I would be a part of. But I just go into creator groups, and even then, even our own Facebook group. I mean, you could even ask a question there if there are any, female specific ones that you can connect with, and they might know. I'm sure they exist, but I'm just not familiar with them.
LinkedIn might be a left field way to find fellow creators.
True too.
In
Very
that
true.
space.
Yeah. Jackie Olog says, just broke 10K views. Starting to feel like this isn't a pipe dream anymore. Hey, congrats. That is awesome to hear. Nora Merle says, AI created description using relevant words and phrases. Yes or no? Will this get along with searches better? Will YouTube frown upon this?
I think it's fine if you're trying to streamline just getting the description done and using relevant words and phrases. I wouldn't stress over it too much. It may give you a marginal, and I do mean a marginal gain advantage. And as long as it's not just a random collection of words that can't be read as a sentence, I don't think YouTube's going to necessarily frown on it.
All right, so we will come back to Super Chats a little bit later on, but that brings us to the top of the hour, which means it's time for this. He was ready this time.
He was ready. Yeah. Also, Dan, perfect timing in there. Like we're on the clock here. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Stuff.
Well, yeah, that's what happens when you don't mess around in the intro.
Agreed.
I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm attacking you today. It's getting tense in here. Let's go ahead and look at our first channel that submitted through the non-gaming form. Yeah, non-gaming first. We'll do that. We'll eventually do that. Hold on. Hang on. Sorry.
What was Dan up to there? Suspicious.
Come on now, dog.
Logged me out of all my accounts. It's fine. Everything's fine. There's nothing to be. Nobody question it. It's fine. Okay. We have the CLAAAW, which is here. We have a whole bunch of channels that have submitted on the form. We have 564 on the non-gaming form, 429 on the gaming form.
Yikes.
So 564, you say. 565. How's that? One more person got in there. 106. I'm at 102 right now, so we'll just toggle over here to 106. And we will scroll down to see Historical USA has submitted their channel about American history. We'll come over to YouTube.
Well, I better step out of this one then, because those Brits have still got a little beef with you Americans. It's 250 years ago, but
So this is not my topic. YouTube history, like I would probably score like a C. This would be worse for me. So let's see. History in rhyme. Is that like a rap or something? Lincoln Decoded, revealing the truth. I think just on the surface, looking at these titles and thumbnails, I'll kick us off by saying this.
Yeah.
I'm not getting the why on these videos really at all. I'm not really sure what is going to be taught. I'm not sure why I should watch. And I'm not saying that to be rude. It is just literally a title thumbnail conundrum for me. Lincoln Decoded, all men are created equal. Is this a history lesson on Lincoln? Is it a specific... Is it about where this quote came from, the origins of it? Like, I'm asking myself way too many questions, and questions in reality I won't ask myself when I see this video on my home feed. I'm going to keep browsing. My eyes are just going to keep scrolling over it and scanning over it. So that is the big thing I think this creator should take away from my thoughts on this channel, is that I don't know what any individual video is really about.
Yeah, I would also subscribe to the idea that let's just make it simple and obvious and easy if it's about American history, and that can be done visually. I know I'm going down to the lowest common denominator here, but some American flag theming or colors in these thumbnails to give it a bit more branding of American history might be a simple way to do this. Other than, if you're just scrolling down, what I'm seeing here is lots of browns, like very yellowy whites, and then this neon or this backlit fonts. Some of them are difficult to read. Muddy presentation somewhat in the thumbnails.
Mm-hmm. Now, they've been at it for 3 months. I will say I'm glad you got away from like history hour with person, because one issue is that like we don't know what history you're talking about in this video. I know that the channel's about American history, but like if someone just saw this video in isolation, they wouldn't really know. A lot of people might not know who Jake Phillips is, and it's just kind of an hourglass. So there's nothing, again, like I'm glad I feel like your later videos kind of got away from that a little bit, but I'm still seeing that as a running theme of like, you know, what exactly is going on. Jeff, what are your thoughts?
The only thing I'm kind of catching a vibe of is that they're creating the videos, or they come up with the idea of the video and they're doing like shooting the video, making the video, and then they're trying to figure out packaging afterwards. And that's kind of the vibe that I'm sort of getting from it, which is fine. There's so many creators that work this way on YouTube, even super experienced creators that I've met. But one of the things that I would really get into the habit of, one, is when you have the idea for a video, really, really try to research it and see, does anybody actually care about that idea? That's first. And then if you can answer that question positively and say, yeah, there's actually people searching for this. There's actually people who are, you know, if you see other videos on YouTube and they're actually getting a good amount of views, okay, cool. Then this seems to be an idea that might work. How do I want to title this? How do I want to thumbnail this? Like, how am I going to package this idea? You want to have those things ready to go before you actually start shooting the video. That way it makes sense. Like, it actually makes sense. It makes, you know, a viewer want to click on this topic. That's sort of what I'm getting at here, because I felt the same thing that Dan and Rob were feeling, where it was just kind of like, why should I click on this video? What's enticing me to do this? And this is coming from somebody who's actually interested in history. And that's the thing. And mind you, they are newer. They haven't been at this that long. So this is a skill that does take time to come up with. And it might force you to actually have to rethink your whole workflow. But vetting the idea first, and then coming up with the actual packaging, and then working on your script, your hook, you know, and then actually filming the video, doing it in that process could make this make much more sense to a viewer who's just landing on your channel.
Yeah. I do want to add a bit of positivity here. From the very first video, they've been getting hundreds of views. Mm-hmm. And there are a couple of outliers of videos that have thousands of views. So, and it's not like we're in the gaming Let's Play space where they're just getting no traction whatsoever. The final thought from me is, who's the target audience? Is it middle school, high school, just adults who are casually interested in American history? There might be something to think about in terms of a pitch there as well.
Totally agree. It could be, you know, pitching it to Americans who don't know their history. That's one target audience. How about people outside of the States who don't know, or maybe they are interested? Or is it elementary school students, you know? Or so you have to think about who it is that you're making these videos for, and really start thinking in that way. How can I address it to these people? How can I communicate what I'm trying to communicate at their level?
And that's all sides of the content too. We're not talking just title, thumbnail. Like, that will change the way you script all of your videos. Like, when you have that audience in mind throughout the whole process.
Congratulations on 1,000 subscribers. And I'm just wondering, because I can't see many videos over 1,000 views. I'm wondering if I had any breakthrough videos on shorts down here.
I picked popular on shorts, and this is what we're looking at.
They've done a couple of shorts as well. So testing multiple content varieties.
A couple of lives as well. Cool. All right. Let's go ahead and look at the next channel. It's going to be a gaming channel from the Gaming Forum. 442 responses on there.
I'm looking forward to seeing a Warcraft Rumble channel, because that's something I can actually really get into. Because obviously I'm playing that as well, along with Guardians of the Galaxy.
AUDIT chess? I don't know if I'm saying that correctly.
Purely dedicated to chess.
We assume. All right. This is an interesting take on chess thumbnails. It is chess.
I thought that was Hugh Jackman for a second, the second thumbnail. Just for a brief second. I thought it was Wolverine.
I am going to talk about that immediately. I think that I can't let that go. These are very clever. They're too clever.
Yep.
This Respect Your Queen looks like it could be on like that history YouTube channel we're just looking at. Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't look like a chess video. The art of winning without really trying. The art of winning what? Now, to you, it's obvious, and you have chess in your channel name. You're like, what do you mean what? It's chess. But again, think about it this way. New viewers. You're trying to get new viewers in your channels, right? All of you. So this is going to show up, ideally, somewhere in the home feed. So when you click on the home feed, suddenly it's not about chess anymore. It's about unboxing the Apple Vision Pro. It's about a movie trailer. It's about thumbnail advice. So your video shows up there, and it looks like the art of winning without really trying. Respect Your Queen. No, like no signal whatsoever that this is about chess or really anything. But then you scroll over it and you see, oh, okay, chess. I got it now. It makes more sense. I would say it should be the chessboard and like the star of all the thumbnails. Go ahead.
I feel as if this is one of those examples where AI is not really doing the creator a favor. Like they're using a tool to shorten the time to create something, but the idea that's being put into that tool is spitting out a result which just causes humans. Why is there a different person on every?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
It's like one of those tech tutorials where they use like a different person's shocked face on how to like defrag your hard drive. Yeah. And I expect this sort of thumbnail. Yeah, so thumbnails, packaging. Let's start it all over again.
Yeah, this isn't working. I mean, if this is the actual person in their profile pic there, then the first thing I would do is, if you're going to insist on putting yourself into every single thumbnail, you need to do a thumbnail photo shoot for yourself, where you basically take, pictures, usually chest up, shoulders up, making different facial expressions. And that way you can bring those into your thumbnail based on what the video is about. Secondly, you need to get away from AI thumbnails, because these are actively doing you a disservice.
Yeah.
Just actively hurting your chances of your videos ever being seen. And yeah, we got to get away from that. They don't scream chess. You have one shot. Nobody's going to click on the video and then hopefully come to your channel to, oh yeah, this is chess. That's not going to happen. That's not in a viewer's workflow. So you have one shot of getting them to stop and click on it, because this is the kind of chess content that they're into, and you are losing that battle. So these thumbnails need to scream chess at me, and they're just not doing it. So I don't know if you've heard this advice before. This is why I'm being as direct as I can, but you got to get away from that. And we can't have this is for anybody. You can't have different people on every single thumbnail. You know what I mean? It's, to me, it screams very, it's almost clickbaity in a sense, especially if you do show your face on camera, then it really doesn't make any sense. So, but yeah, we got to go back to the drawing board on this. Like, if we were doing the 4 pillars, this would have failed immediately.
Yeah.
1,500 subscribers, nearly 300 videos. Where's perhaps a previous success come from, Dan? Like, sort by most popular.
14,000 in shorts, 13,000, 30,000, 12,000. So I would say they have a number of shorts that popped off for them.
Okay. And what about the longs?
These scream chess, at least. Long form, popular, 285 views. So
all right, so they're not really making any progress with shorts. So sorry, with longs. So is it the shorts? Have we been kind of looking at the wrong place?
If we look at their form too, did they want us to? No, they want us to focus on long form.
Okay.
So, but yes, this is good to see. It's this one probably screams chess. It probably tells a better story. Just from scrolling to it. Let's see. Okay, I think it's just music.
I look like he just got rivered in a game of poker.
What's funny is they use the same meme for all of the different chess moves.
Yeah.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it, I suppose. But at least these are like proper chess videos. I want to watch just a little bit of one.
Okay.
Guys, fasten your seatbelts, as today we are again going to boot a 15 plus 10 minute random game on chess.com, and let's see what are the results.
Okay, so they're going to play chess. They're going to check the results. I do feel like there's other places you could take this content. I don't know much about chess, but I do know that there were some cheating scandals not that long ago. And I wonder if you could have done some like commentary about that. That could have been an interesting, it's still chess, still chess, jumping on a trending topic, something you could have looked into. Probably a little late now, but just as like a random thought. And then going back to thumbnails, if you are going to use like a different thumbnail style, whether it's AI or not, I can see like respect your queen. It has to be chess pieces. Make sure the queen is depicted. Make them like a giant towering piece, and then little pawns and stuff all surrounding it or something. And maybe they can look scared or nervous. What happened? What happened, Rob?
It's
Rob. He's trying to tell us something.
I just need 2 more subscribers. Carry on, Dan.
So that's I think that means Rob is ready to move on to the next channel.
Well, I was expecting a Warcraft Rumble channel, and I got the complete opposite.
Maybe I'll do a search for you, and we'll see if anyone put Warcraft Rumble in this.
So last piece of advice I would give to Aditya Chess is, you know, do a little bit of research, man. Like, just take the time, look at the other chess channels that are having some success in this space, and to get an idea of not only what kind of videos they're making, but what kind of.
What about that one single thumbnail that was a chess-based one? Sorry, Dan.
Oh, this one.
Find the best move.
31 views.
It still is the same as the others. Okay.
The game of chess is so easy.
Yeah.
Oh, did you hit the?
Yeah, we did.
Okay.
It's all good.
I mean, how to win chess is just something I threw in search and get a lot of shorts where winning chess in 6 moves, like stuff like this would be fantastic for anyone to watch. That's why it has 2.4 million views. But even the long form videos, you know, how to win chess in 4 moves. Like this seems to be a running theme. How to win chess in a certain amount of moves. You know, maybe getting out of like impossible situations. How to win after check. Like I don't know. There's probably all kinds of different things, but the focus of all these thumbnails is chess. That's like first and foremost. You have the one exemption here, but like at least this is a chess piece just depicted in a different way. And then the creator...
But he also has 4 million subscribers. So that's,
yes. Yeah.
I think the Hero channel we're auditing references Gotham Chess as well. That's Hugh Jackman, apparently.
Oh, don't follow Gotham Chess at all. So anyway, best of luck. We'll move on.
Shouldn't it be? So that is not Gotham Chess. Why is they not used their image in the thing? And maybe suggest a reason why.
Yeah. Tell us a bit of a story.
This is AI thumbnails gone wrong. So hopefully that serves as a lesson for other newer creators here.
All right, non-gaming channel 593. Someone very recently who submitted a shorts channel. It's Wordly Saga. Maybe is this a game?
Worldly Saga? I think.
I thought Wordle for a second because I'm thinking gaming. So I'm trying to. Is this a game? Oh, it's not a gaming channel, so no, it's not. Shorts channel. Wow. Very high production value on these. It looks like. Are they using other people's shorts, or because I'm seeing a lot of different people?
I think they are trying to do transformational content with some narration over people's content.
Let's see what it sounds like.
Okay.
These 2 men embarked on a remarkable...
Yeah. Okay, so I'm totally fine with like, okay, I'm gonna like, this was like a cool thing that happened. I'm gonna put some commentary on it and give my take on it. But when you use an AI voice, it's like an immediate like, oh, the low effort vibes come in. And I know I say that and it sounds very mean. But this is the kind of stuff that's going to struggle to grow a channel. Eventually, you could meet YouTube's ban hammer because it's just kind of you taking people's content. So I've seen successful versions of channels like this where they talk about like something that happened to somebody else, but they do it with such a specific style and such specific intent that it's accepted and the channel as well. And everything's fine, but like this automatically, that was like the red flag to me.
Is it a channel that jumps to mind? Is it Dylan Anderson who does this? Who takes shorts from other creators, I assume, and then retells a story, but he does it in his own voice. That's the vibe I'm getting here.
Yeah.
So as you say, it's kind of treading that line of repurposed, reused content versus transformational. But I guess also the other argument here is that there's such a low barrier to entry that many people can do this. And as you say, the AI voice takes away some of the originality on it. It just makes it harder to stand out.
Yeah. All right, moving on. We will choose another non-gaming channel. 263. All right. WebDev and Blogging Academy.
14,000 subscribers.
Congrats. That's awesome. All right, let's create your websites. So we have some tutorial videos here, creating websites. I'm seeing, even though the thumbnails take a little bit of decoding for me personally, I'm seeing that they are in the niche that their, channel name suggests, which is good. I don't know why, but I'm like tempted to click on these now. I'm like in video audit mode.
Let's go to popular real quick.
All right.
Just want to see something.
Oh, here we go. WordPress speed optimization. Interesting.
So yeah, this comes off as a very evergreen channel. So really nice work for them, because this is essentially you're building a library of content, not looking for, well, it depends. It depends on the creator, obviously. But if I was doing this myself, I wouldn't be searching for virality at all. I would just be continuing to build this channel, and I would be doing a lot of redoing videos every year, kind of, as updates come out, as new things change, as new versions of particular softwares come out, or programs, whatever it might be, and just continue building this library up of evergreen videos, because this is the kind of stuff that's long. It's going to burn long, slow burn videos that are going to bring in ad revenue and affiliate revenue over long periods of time. So I like what they're doing. I just wonder what it is that they think that they need help with, because initially I was going to say, I don't like so many words in these thumbnails, but it hasn't hurt them. If you look at this WordPress video from 2 years ago, 110,000 views, it didn't hurt them. So it's pretty interesting to see it like this.
It could be this familiar banner down here too. Like if people are testing the speed of their site and this banner is very common, like that common imagery might have triggered something like, oh, that's the thing. But it says A, mine says Z. So how can I get my website to be faster?
Yeah, agreed.
Can you just click on the video, Dan? I just want to check the language.
Website super fast with light speed cache plugin. So before we start, let's see why you even need
English. Cool, right? No problem.
Yeah,
so
easy to understand.
If we go back, and then if we go to the latest videos, so can you? I'm just looking at these. Some of these are quite niche. I would say, like increase Elementor website speed. WordPress is something I've heard of. So can you do WordPress? Do a search for WordPress 6.4.2. I'm just curious as to what the competition's up to.
All right, what's new in WordPress 6.4?
So he's actually ranking very highly, which is both good and bad. It kind of means that it's already a leader in his space, but has the space just shrunk significantly? So there's not a big audience in there right now.
It could be that we were on the channel too.
Yeah, that could have influenced it. Definitely.
It's bias, yeah.
But the view counts generally, and there's a couple of outliers, but from larger channels.
Yeah. So some of these are talking about the update itself, while this one decided to create a menu in WordPress 6.4 Plus 2024 theme quick tutorial. So they took the update and made a specific tutorial about it. And for them, this was a big outlier. 100 subscribers, 2,000 views.
But WordPress doesn't seem to be like as big a thing as it was 5-10 years ago. Just go back again to their channel. Is there anything else here that has kind of like a broader appeal?
I would say do this and never get hacked. It seems like it would be something, but it just depends on what they mean by that.
Yeah. And I think the imagery doesn't really invoke hacking. One thing we've been playing with are like toggle buttons in our thumbnails. And this feels like you're going to tell us about a setting to turn on to keep from getting hacked. So maybe you could like mock that up as a little toggle or something. I know imagery for web development is not going to be an easy thing to do, but play around with like settings and things like that. Like this right here, light speed cache, and you have a little check mark box there. And then it's time to take some new photos. I would say you in the corner, like I would do a day where you take a whole bunch of different photos, change your shirt up a little bit, do some different faces, pull from a wider library of photos, because with the background and the way you do your text, it almost feels like these thumbnails are the same every single time.
Yeah.
They're very templatized.
Yeah, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with having your thumbnails having a vibe to them, but even though the words are different and you can tell the difference, it sort of starts to kind of get wallpapery a little bit. and you want to give them a little bit of more differentiation, at the very least with your facial expression or what you're wearing, something to kind of up the game there. But aside from that, I mean, they're doing a lot of things right. So one of the things that I would recommend also is, instead of, because it seems like they're kind of bouncing around a lot as far as like the topic of content, I would hope that they're creating these videos in bunches, like actual series. So when they're going to do Elementor, are you making 3 to 5 videos about Elementor? If you're doing WordPress, are you going to do 3 to 5 videos about that as well? You know, just making sure that you're creating content. Not only is it evergreen, but you're also creating content that's going to leverage returning viewers as well. So there's certain things in there that I would want to make sure that you're doing. And try not to talk about everything in WebDev. Try to see if some of these content types, some of these particular products or that you do, you're going to notice that some of them perform better than others. So if you're making videos about 10 different topics within WebDev, how about we narrow that down to 5, the 5 best performing ones, and start working in that direction, making more videos about those 5 topics that perform better, and not really worry about the other ones that don't do anything for your channel.
My slight concern for this channel is that, you know, we often say that people do the same thing over and over again and hope something different happens. I almost feel as if this creator is doing the same thing over and over again and hoping nothing changes. And I feel as if the world is moving on from stuff like WordPress. Like, you did a search down for ChatGPT, and they didn't have that many videos about AI and ChatGPT. And
we have a number of them that mention GPT, but this could be description. Like, I would say the ones at the top here, I did want to talk about a little bit, because look at the views. I mean, these are outliers. So I was just going to talk about trends, you know, because like you said, Rob, like, it seems like they're going to do the same thing and nothing's going to change. Well, if people are starting to use AI to build websites, I mean, you might be time to jump on that train, whether you like it or not, and make that easier for people like anything else. There's still a lot to learn about using ChatGPT for building things. I'd also, you make sure to use the logo, the very popular ChatGPT logo in your thumbnails, unless obviously you're trying to avoid any kind of like issues with that. But I mean, you used it here, the OpenAI logo. That was what I was gonna say. I didn't even interrupt you.
Yeah, but there's also you also want to talk about how do people actually build websites nowadays?
Yeah.
Are they doing it themselves, or are they using website services?
Right.
And
like,
it's another option.
You can compare it to very popular services that you see them advertised all the time. I won't mention any by name, but you definitely watch some YouTube videos and seen them sponsored by certain sites that are like, hey, we'll help you build your website. Talk about that experience. Go through it yourself and be like, so I got a website through whatever it's called, and this was the pros and cons.
Yeah.
You know, think about the audience here, and like at the very base level, what is it that they could use and need right now?
Yeah, agreed. I think we've done pretty well on that one.
Good job, us. Rob, did I cut you off? Or are you gonna?
No, I think I was done.
Okay. All right. Let's look at a gaming channel on the gaming list, which has 475. $108. And it is Dorian the Explorian.
Oh, that's a channel name.
All right. Okay.
Exploring RPGs.
All right. 731 subscribers, 134 videos. Looking at the latest one, 4-minute review of Oblivion Override, Power World in a nutshell, new auto-battling roguelike, 3-minute review. Okay. So it looks like they are reviewing RPGs. It's mostly like short form videos, not shorts, but shorter videos that go over certain RPGs. Some I've heard of, some I have not. New auto-battling roguelike, The Last Flame. This one did really well. 965 views. And what I like about this, just for anyone who reviews games that are lesser known, is that they focused on the type of game it was. They focused on the genre.
All right. I see.
Yes. And they
card battling roguelike, turn-based roguelike.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I think this is a really solid way to review games no one's ever heard of before.
So you would accept the piping structure here in like genre of game, name of game.
Yeah, piping, parentheses, like that does help.
A hyphen.
A hyphen.
colon.
All kinds of different ways to separate the titles. So yeah, I would
Holy
accept it
punctuation.
here, especially because the titles are not super long anyway, and they're making it sound pretty cool. I would work on thumbnails, honestly. Thumbnails seem mostly text. Power World in a nutshell, I feel like was overthought. You just had to put the nutshell there, but no, you did not. I would say Power World in a nutshell, and then show a pal with a gun, or show like something happening in the thumbnail that, to you, if one image could describe Power World to you, what would it be? And it's not this. When I see in a nutshell videos, no one actually uses a literal nutshell in the thumbnail.
I would say it'd be Pikachu with an RPG rocket.
Yes, yeah, and that's Power World in a nutshell. So some of these are a little too clever, and when you have like a top-down game, it's like I don't really know what to do. The screenshots aren't looking too good. Well, what do they have any press kit on their website where they have more like high quality images that you can use for your thumbnails, and then you can like manipulate those and then put your text on it or something like that. Real Fun or Refund is a great catchy thing, but so that's like the series. I guess I'm seeing that in all of them. It feels like wasted space. Like I feel like the potential here for a better thumbnail kind of gets eaten up because of this branding.
How did these ones do with like 4-minute review and 10 beginner tips? I'm just curious on the view counts on them. Scroll down.
Scroll down. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. 4-minute review, 5-minute review. Okay, so
they seem to be performing better. I know there's a longer distance of time that's being allowed to let these videos breathe, but 4-minute review, 5-minute review, like it kind of states to the viewer like you're going to get a clear answer pretty quickly, rather than what was it, Real Fun or Refund. That if you're not familiar with the series, it just there's just like that extra half step or breath to think, what does that mean?
I think this is a really interesting thing. You got a huge outlier score here. And when you were giving expert and beginner tips for Endless Dungeon, it kind of makes me wonder, could your review videos instead, because you get this really consistent view count, which tells me you're kind of like catering to the same audience over and over, could you not reach out to new people if you're not just reviewing a game, but you are giving tips on how to play it? Because inherently when people watch those tips videos, like 10 things to know before playing Power World or whatever, like people are going to get a sense of the game anyway. You don't necessarily have to give your take on it. You could be giving expert and beginner tips on all sorts of games. That could be something to try, because like those videos are sticking out to me in a big way. It's hard to ignore these views.
Yeah, I agree. I think if they found a format for videos that work, then there's no reason that they couldn't apply that format to other trending games or other popular games. So I think you're actually onto something there, Dan.
Roguelike versus roguelite, the simplest explanation. I've wondered this myself. I'm glad someone made a video on that. 1.7K views. When you leave this like Real Fun or Refund behind and you do something else, it pops off. It does really well.
What would you define a rogue-like game as, Dan?
So essentially every time you lose, you start over.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
With maybe more money and more items, but you got to go back to the beginning of a game.
Usually you get some little thing to take with you into a future game.
I don't think I've yet finished one of those games like Dead Cells. I've
Played Up is my favorite.
I've got far through it, but not finished any of them. I don't think I like the format. I get the idea. Yeah. I'm just not a fan of it.
I must have hundreds of hours in Played Up. It's just so fun. But okay, that is Dorian the Explorian. I hope we've given you some value there.
Should we do some super chats?
Yes,
get them done so we can audit some more channels afterwards.
Yes, Video Boy. I started creating YouTube Shorts and I upload daily. All of it did not receive a single view until now. Does my YouTube channel have a problem?
That's the same thing, isn't it? Not a single view. These shorts not getting a single view, which, as we understand it for YouTube Shorts, views are kind of like impressions, like YouTube testing the content. And if you're getting null poir, not a single view, I'm not sure what's going on there.
Here's what I would recommend. If there's no impressions, like Rob's talking about, right? So when we talk about the first couple hundred views, the first couple thousand views are impressions. Don't look at them as views, look at them as impressions. And if you're getting 0 of them, I would, if it's literally 0 or 1, then I would probably go ahead and delete it. And you can try uploading that again on a different day at a different time to see if that makes a difference. Otherwise, you could I mean, you could always try it on a different channel, but that would be what I would first do, because I've had that actually happen to myself. I'm not an advocate of like, oh, well, this one didn't go viral, so I'm going to delete it and just re-upload it over and over and over. I'm not going to do that. No, that's not what I'm talking about here. So don't get me misconstrued. Just if you get 0 impressions on something, I would take it down and I would say, okay, well, I uploaded that at Tuesday at 8 o'clock in the morning and it didn't do anything. So next time I'm going to take this video down. I'm going to try again Wednesday, maybe at noon, and see if something happens. So yeah.
The piece of missing information for me here is how many shorts are we talking? If it's dozens and dozens, that's one thing. But if it's like 5, I've had shorts channels where it takes 5, 6, 7 videos for the first one to kind of go. And then that back catalog starts to get views as well. So there's a lot that could be going on here that we don't know. But yes, everything Jeff said, I would just caveat it with that one thing. If you've only done a few, and you said until now, so it seems like something's happening, keep uploading. Either way.
Yeah. Also, guys, and whoever, before you send that super chat, read what it says on the banner that's scrolling by. Make sure you guys read that, just in case, because you may send a super chat and not get read and then get upset. So we're just letting you know.
I mean, Joe Green says my first ever video popped off, but now I'm stuck covering one game. Now what?
Oof.
I wouldn't say you're stuck.
Same.
Roll with the one game for now. If you have more ideas for it, grow your channel. Learn how to do YouTube, but with this nice small scope of one game you're focusing on. Branch out when you're ready, and try to keep the style of the game and you and the way you're playing it the same as you branch out into new spaces. I talk about this way more in depth in my latest like gaming video that released at the beginning of the year. It's linked in the description. The first video on the list of like gaming videos in the description. So you can go check that out to hear more of my thoughts on that. But I don't think you're stuck. I don't think that's the way you want to look at it.
Think of it from this point of view, like if Jeff completes Starfield, like what is the next game Jeff should play if he really likes Starfield? And what it might be like Skyrim, Vegas Fallout, etc., etc. I mean,
it could even be like Baldur's Gate, you know.
Yeah, sorry, like, I'm not really into it. So Baldur's Gate 3 might be the natural fit. That's your crossover title, and you can start to do comparison videos and stuff to bring audiences to that new game, while still being like a shared experience.
Yeah. Think about what are the games in that genre that the viewers of this particular game would also be into. So if you're a Forza channel, would they also be into Gran Turismo? If you're into Call of Duty, would they be into possibly Fortnite? I don't know. But you just got to think along the genre of the game.
If they're into Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, they're just stupid.
Sir.
It's a long-standing joke.
Cool Shadow Shows, says, any reason short uploaded from PC would become a regular video the next day, then become a short again years later? Later. We did see, when shorts first came out, we did see old videos suddenly become shorts because they were under a minute and they were vertical.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's the only case I would understand, though. That's
sure. I
don't know how else to answer that.
It's a YouTube video of an identity crisis.
Theology, what stats should I focus on to improve my shorts? Can't seem to break through the 2 to 4K views.
Average view duration.
Swiped away rate
for 100% or more. Yes, 100% or more. And yeah, as Jeff said, was it swiped away? Yeah, swiped away.
And focus on storytelling.
Yeah, that's down with some practical advice when it comes to analytics.
I run business-related channel. I run a business-related channel, I assume, and get an average of 100K views per video, but they never go viral. So it's really hard to go viral.
Why do you want to go viral?
My business is really niche.
Virality is so freaking overrated. I swear, man. People got to get past that word.
100,000 views per video is fine.
Yeah, seriously.
In my perspective,
right? I'd be very happy with that.
I know it's all relative. You might be thinking, yeah, but my competition's getting 2 million views per video. Okay,
can't see the forest
research them and see what they're doing.
Right,
see why they're kicking ass.
Trends would be the way to go viral, but it's temporary. Sure, you get a little injection, for some extra views, but it's temporary.
I've seen virality ruin more channels and creators than actually help them succeed.
It's like winning the lottery.
Literally, literally. You think, oh my God, I won the lottery. You know how many search YouTube, how many people have been absolutely ruined? It literally left worse off than before they won the lottery after winning the lottery. So think of virality as the lottery. Most people can't handle it.
And just like they've got 40,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
View counts. First video they ever made, 1.3 million. 240,000, 100,000, 150,000, 115,000, 67,000. They're fine. They are
seriously.
they are ahead in the YouTube world. If you don't like our sort of stance on this, there are other YouTube creators out there, educators out there who may be more suited to your needs and wants.
Agreed.
But you are kicking ass.
Yeah.
Keep kicking it.
Lo-Fi Hammy says, just became a channel for 200 humans within 20 days. I assume that means 200 subscribers.
I think so.
As a new tuber, you guys have really helped me wrap my head around YouTube and its features. Sending love, Hammy. Thank you so much, and congrats. That's awesome.
Nice to hear.
Broken Skull says, would you say that content creation and creating successful creation platform has become more about promoting compared to the past? No? Promoting. I don't... Personally, I don't go out of my way to promote anything. I'm not going to do that legwork. YouTube's going to do it for me, or it's not going to go anywhere. So I would say no, but maybe I don't understand the question.
I'm in agreement and not.
It was just the way it was written. I'm not really getting that.
Ziggy, would your comment about this... Would your comment be the same for when YouTube gives tons of impressions on all your 6 videos and overnight stops giving 95% of impressions on all your videos, but 2 of them? It's still going down.
I'm worried now I'm being quoted.
Yeah.
Anything that I say on YouTube is recorded down in history.
Used against you.
So somebody's answer to this is yes. But you didn't see that word come out of my mouth. I didn't say that.
That's weird, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Mouth closed. Yes.
It's strange. I don't know what's going on there. Yeah, maybe it's AI Rob in the background. Devontae Talkaholics. We need a Mr. Who's the Boss audit.
Why would we do that?
Why would we do that?
He's brilliant. He's amazing.
Yeah, if you want to see a breakdown on Mr. Who's the Boss content, I'm pretty sure Ed from Film Booth did a really good piece on the way that Mr. Who's the Boss does his storytelling. So I suggest you check that out. That's not really what we do here. Plus, if we started reviewing 10 million plus subscriber channels, everybody in the chat will flip out. So
yeah. But I will take this as just a quick moment to say again that later today, 1 p.m. Eastern, if you want to hear from someone with millions of subscribers, Arac is doing an AMA. So if you have vidIQ Boost or vidIQ Max, you can view that. Go to app.vidiq.com and check your Max tab or your Events tab, depending on which one you have. And make sure to get in there. 1 p.m. Eastern today. So 14 million subscribers if you're looking for, some insights from someone with a very large platform. Will's Got Skills says, this is a great series for the community. Keep it up, guys. Also, what would you say is the most important tip for creating any type of video?
Focus on target audience.
Yeah. Who's it for?
I guess if we're talking about the video specifically, let's focus on that hook.
Yeah.
Thank you, vidIQ, for all the help. I'm fairly new, and it's not easy for me to create content outside of my niche and schedule, but with some of your applicable tips, I made the first stage to the YouTube Partner Program last week. Oh, hey! Love to see that.
Yes.
Sir Boggett, thank you so much. Congrats. Ziggy again. Do you know what's the average RPM for a kids channel? We do not.
Nope.
Yeah, we would not know that. Interesting question, though. Post on dead channel, many subs, or start fresh?
Ooh, depends on the content of the dead channel.
Yeah,
but yeah, I would test it first. I would test it on the dead channel first to see if you could gain any traction, and if it works, because I've seen it work. If it works, cool, and then at some point you can start unlisting all of those old videos off that dead channel. And if not, if you get no traction on these new videos, then yeah, I would start a fresh channel.
Yep. Treat it, but in either case, pretend you're starting fresh.
Basically.
Top 1 became a new member.
Hey.
I'll just call this user Salty. They became a new member. And then HRC gave us a super chat. Love your videos. Just submitted the form. Thank you. And best of luck to you. All right. Those are the supers. We're probably not going to read any more supers today.
Done them all.
Yeah.
Well
so if you give a super, it may not get read. Just big red warning label there.
Yep.
All right.
No
like
more super chats.
No more money. Knock it off with the money. All right. Let's go ahead and look at our next.
Money.
Put the wallet away.
Put the note back in the wallet.
That's right.
All right. Non-gaming channel 623. Wow. All the same numbers were there. I just had to mix them up a little bit. 623. Zack's Reels and Adventures.
Fishing channel.
All right.
This might be the first fishing channel of 2024 we have audited.
Zack's Real Adventures. My brain is just not working today. All right. We have 2 days ago an outlier video here. 146 views. How much flow is too much to fish? Late winter. Is Walmart the most expensive? Is Walmart's most expensive fishing rod worth it? That did well as well.
That's a cool question to ask because it has that perceived idea of almost like a logic gap or a contrast. Because you think Walmart sells stuff on a cheap, but does the most expensive stuff on a cheap that they sell really deliver as a product? So I can see why there's curiosity there built into that title, which that's a good example of a title that creates curiosity without the thumbnail.
Yeah. And if you're wondering why this is an outlier, it's likely because of the amount of views it got in the amount of time that it got. Normally, they would not get this many views in this amount of time, which is awesome to see. So this is a channel that is on the right track. Love the latest thumbnails, by the way. The last 2 thumbnails feel really solid to me. There's a couple more. I don't love this one. It's mostly text to me, but maybe it's because I don't understand what these things are. But I will say, like, this one looks cool. I like the use of scale there. Simple techniques for big cold water bass did really well. 2.9K views. Wow.
Is cold water bass a good keyword for them? Just not always, no.
Okay.
I saw a couple of videos with thousands of views, but then there's another one which has 150 views.
3 lures that will destroy your fishing hole this fall. 2,000 views there. Let's see if there's anything that really took off. Okay, so this is not a fishing video, and that's the most popular one. So the question is this video bringing you any new viewers today? Because it might need to go on a separate channel if it is.
Unlisted, yeah.
Unlisted, separate channel. It's probably not a big deal. Like, it's 5 years ago, but
probably not. Yeah,
just keep an eye on it. Shorts. 2.7K views on the latest one. 8.8K views on the best one. Why the big ones? Huh?
They're all fishing, which is good for the most part, but
yeah.
I agree. The drumming video, I would be unlisting that for sure.
Any tips? I've been just in awe of the success of this channel.
Yeah, overall, I really like it, man. I like what they're doing, and I like the idea of the, most expensive fishing rod from, a budget store like Walmart. Like, things like that can really, I mean, you can tell by the viewed count that people were actually interested in this topic. So can you do good with budget gear from, not a high-end sports retailer? That could be a series. Not saying that has to become your whole channel, but it can become almost like once a month, twice a month, depending on how many videos they make per month, obviously. But let's say you're doing 4 videos a month. One of those videos should be something like that, where you're trying some budget gear from Big Five or from wherever. How many fish can I catch with the cheapest equipment? Stuff like along those lines, where you kind of introduce almost like a challenge into the video. So I don't know. It's just a thought, but being that you've already seen results from it, there's no reason why you couldn't recreate something like that, every now and then.
I would also say that the thumbnails could be simplified, but the important elements of the thumbnails could be amplified. in the sense that I'm seeing arrows on some of these thumbnails, but they are so tiny as to that you don't really observe them immediately. And if you're wanting to draw my eyes to something, let's have it bigger on screen. But then you would have to simplify the colors a bit, like the one which is second row down on the left, coolest rocks in Indiana. Yeah, there is an arrow pointing to something. I don't know what it is. I can't even, is that are they inside a cave looking out to a rock? I'm already trying to, and then is that the state map outline on the right hand side? It's a really confusing thumbnail because there isn't like a main character to that thumbnail. So I'm not sure what my eye should be drawn to. So yeah, just a little bit of thumbnail work there for me.
Yeah. We did gloss over a tip here. I saw a little bit of confusion about this. I just want to clear this up. When we give the advice to unlist a video, and it happens to be the most popular one, it's usually the case of someone who is doing something different than what they're doing now. So in a lot of cases, we see people with like clips from a concert they went to once, and it has a lot of views, but now they're doing a fishing channel, and people might still be watching that old video and still going, oh, I want to see all the cool concert clips on this channel, and hitting subscribe, only to get fishing videos, being confused, and never to watch again. So it's just to avoid confusion and make sure that you're drawing the right audience. If this video is getting 0 views as of today, then there's probably no reason to touch it. But if it's getting a lot of views today and you're a fishing channel, it's like solid fishing channel now, and you're not deviating from that, then we would recommend moving your drumming videos to another channel. And they could maybe, you know, get these views again, maybe not. But the point is you're trying to build an audience. You're trying not to confuse them. So drumming and fishing, 2 different audiences in our opinion.
That is the curse of a viral video sometimes.
Yes. Remember when we talked about viral videos hurting channels? That's kind of what we mean.
Yeah.
That is one way that can happen.
I'm going to put that on a shirt. Virality is overrated.
All right. Next up is a gaming channel. So we'll go back to the gaming forum to see that we have 505 responses. And we will take 188. Well, it's not being very random today, I don't think. That's my tinfoil hat. Minecraft about farm tutorials. All right. T1G6S.
Does that mean anything to you, Dan?
Oh, I think it's their name because of the handle. But yeah, it's not a Minecraft thing.
Whoa.
Okay, so we don't talk about channel names a whole lot, but one thing is having a channel name that's easy to remember, easy to spell is helpful. That's not a bad thing, because when you go, as you start to build up an audience on YouTube, you go to your search and you find that your channel's like most popular term tends to be the channel name, exactly how it's spelled. So having to remember the string of characters could be a little bit difficult for people.
Remember what the best channel name on YouTube is? Calvin the Unfindable. Shout out.
Mike, also Mike Pugs, something like that.
Right. Yeah, as soon as I read this, I was just like,
wait a minute.
You know what I mean? It's like, what am I reading here? So that's one thing we always have to remember, because I know a lot of people end up like creating a channel, or they already have like a YouTube account that's based on whatever like their gamer tag handle is, like stuff like that. And if once you decide you want to start creating a channel, like actually get serious and start putting up videos and stuff, you got to make yourself easy to find. And that requires an easy to write and an easy to remember name. So just a food for thought for people in here who have ridiculous channel names that in your mind is cool and in your mind makes sense. You have to think about it from a perspective of other people finding your channel and being findable. Unlike Mr. Calvin, who is now very findable.
Oh, so findable.
Love the thumbnails. I
do. I think they're great.
Most of the titles, I want you to go back to this title and give it the flim flam. Easy Iron Farm Tutorial, Minecraft 1.20.
Give it that razzle dazzle, sir.
Oh. Dan, I want to cut that as a sound bite.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
Well, good luck. I'm not going to repeat myself.
Flim flam.
It's true though. Easy Iron Farm, Minecraft 1.20, 330 per hour is in the thumbnail. You don't need it in the title. I'm not sure why you chose to put the Minecraft version number at the front of the title, but it made it harder to read. And I think if you make that one change, you could start to see similar view counts to some of the other ones where you did 4 farms that you need to build, or best gold farm Minecraft 1.20. As recently as a month ago, you put Minecraft 1.20 at the end of the title. I know it's a little thing that I'm harping on, but this is like, I think, important for readability, and readability is everything when it comes to a title.
Harp away, sir.
Is this the newest version? I thought we were on like 1.2.1 these days.
I think 1.21 is either in development or people hate it or something. I don't know.
Okay.
There's a controversy with the later Minecraft updates.
Yeah.
But I don't follow it very closely anymore.
One final thing to say from this channel from me,
Yeah.
Dan, is it's a typical thing of commit to consistency. Like this channel was on a real tear of momentum. Like a month ago, they were getting, every video was getting like 600 views plus 1,000. And then there was that big long break. Maybe you took a break over Christmas. Just kind of killed the momentum there, and giving it the videos some of them are relatively short, some are a bit longer. I feel as if a creator could be creating more, unless we watch the edits and they're like super well edited and take hundreds of hours to make.
I'm going to say something controversial, and this is only if you're a Minecrafter will you be like, but what I'm going to say is that the texture pack you're using, not the texture pack, the shader pack you're using on the latest 2 thumbnails isn't helping. I think the thumbnails where you were not using a shader pack look flatter, but in a good way, in a way that makes it easier for my eyes to decode the thumbnail to see, oh, iron farm, those are iron golems, they're generating stuff. Got it. This thing, because of the shaders and the depth and the pure, like how photogenic it is and stuff, it's making me have to like really stare at it. Like, what is that? It says it's an iron farm, I guess, but like, what is that? Same here, like 3 different farms that look very, very intricate, but that extra bit of shader depth, I think, is not helping, at least for me. Some might disagree, which is why it's such a controversial thing to say.
It's like there's more detail on the thumbnail, but because the thumbnail is shrunk down to size, it's almost like you want less detail, so those details that are left stand out more.
Right. So, I mean, if this is my evidence here. The best string/emerald farm 1.20, and it didn't even say Minecraft in the title, by the way. And it's just, it speaks for itself. You have the device on the left, it's pointing on the right to all the string and emerald you're collecting. Perfect. All right. Hey, congrats on a very successful Minecraft channel with just 16 videos, incredible views. I'm sure you're on your way. You got shorts as well, which you're doing, just a few, but they're not doing bad. This is awesome. All right. Where are we?
One video a week. I just want them to commit to that for six months.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's some really cool Minecraft channels out there. I will admit, there was one I found that was doing cozy Minecraft, and mind you, I don't even play Minecraft, but the voice was so soothing in the way that she was explaining things that I was just like, it was like wrapping a warm blanket around my head. It was so nice. So it was great. So yeah.
All right. This is going to be one I'm not too sure what this category is. IELTS prep.
IELTS. It's preparation for speakers of non-English speakers to take English exams.
Okay. Is this one specific country, or does this span?
No, this is like an international standard.
Okay.
I believe.
Interesting. So then, sorry.
Go ahead, Dan. No. Go ahead. Don't want to.
I mean, we could talk about titles, thumbnails, all that stuff, which we've done all day. But I was going to say, the immediate question in my mind is, when someone is going through this process, what else are they doing as part of maybe immigrating or whatever it might be? Could this channel have branched out more and to not just prep for this one specific thing? What do you think? It was a too big of a dream? Because it could be. They've dedicated a lot of content to this.
I think when it comes to these IELTS can be pretty important, like especially for visa applications and whatnot. They do become very much a focus of somebody's education. What jumps out at me is, like, you want this stuff to be quite simple and easy to understand because it is inherently education content, and the complexity of the thumbnails doesn't do that. I want to have that feeling of I'm immediately going to get something out of this, and it feels like there's a barrier on some of these thumbnails and titles.
Yeah,
that just makes them quite complex. Let's do a search, Dan. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this just like studying for IELTS or how to pass IELTS, something like that. There we go.
There's some quick shorts here with a lot of views.
Yeah.
These thumbnails are really clean by comparison.
Yeah. It feels as if for something like this, you just want to have something bold and in your face and very clear and simple on what you're going to get out of it. And even some of these thumbnails are getting a little too complex and overly complicated. But full course IELTS in 60 minutes. How I scored 8.5 and 5. That's that clean, direct. That's what I'm looking at.
Yeah. I think our creator needs to take a new set of pictures.
Mhm.
And I think that they are overcomplicating. Like, why?
It's the same one, isn't it, every time?
Yeah. Why is the
Stoic
laptop
folded arms look?
The laptop on a tripod with the text in it? It just doesn't. I don't really understand why.
It makes the text so small too.
Right. Yeah. So much stuff has to fit. This latest thumbnail is by far the busiest. You insisted on being in the thumbnail, which is fine, but then it's like way too much text. You're really trying to flag people down with this thumbnail. I can feel it flapping its arms and screaming at me, and there's no need for that. I think we saw a bunch of really good examples. I would recommend some definite research there. But one thing I noticed is that they, like the other examples we saw. Sorry, what are you laughing?
Sorry, if you scroll down, this is one of his thumbnails that's made me laugh. So IELTS, it's a little further up. It's how to easily complete IELTS reading on time. It's the one with the yellow background. Just scroll up a tiny bit down.
Oh.
It's just like topic, shocking tips and tricks for management.
Listen.
Does it need to be like sensationalist education for IELTS?
Here's a challenge for anyone watching this who puts text in their thumbnails. Here's my challenge to all of you, laying down the gauntlet. 3 words or less. And don't use 3 long words. 3 words or less and like 3rd grade level words, right? That's the challenge. 3 words or less. So I don't need, listen, let's count out this thumbnail here. Top 8 shocking tips and tricks for time management in bro, 11 words. And you have more, I think you have more words in your thumbnail than you do in your title. That's insane.
There's one here, which is kind of like a contrast. This is a green one, 40/40 in listening in 10 days.
Look at that.
That is so much more clear, direct. And yeah, it's got, I'm picking that out as kind of the outlier as well. There's a purity to that and a cleanness.
Yeah. And the 40 out of 40 promise there is really enticing too. If 40 is the best score you can get, I'm assuming it is, then this is like very clickable. You did it again down here with 1.3K views. But this is why I say, like, how much content can you really make on this one subject? I saw courses from people on this, and there's probably other things that a person who would watch this content also would like to know about, not just passing this test, but immigrating or whatever it might be. So if you are looking to get into other topics, this is about considering your audience, the persona of the person who watches this channel, and they're very specific things they're going through in life. So you could consider that.
I think this is a great comment. Like, thumbnails and titles should work together. This feels like they are fighting.
Yeah.
I kind of agree with that sentiment.
There's a brawl happening in all of these. So there it is. IELTS prep with Azamat. Thank you for submitting your channel. Hopefully that was of some value. And that's it. You're all dismissed. Unless you want to go see Iraq in a while. Another hour. Live. You have Boost, you have Max, you can go check it out. Go to Aprily.com.
Why does this music make our voices sound terrible?
I don't know.
So
I've
weird.
noticed that about this one.
Yeah.
It's fine. Did you guys catch that though? Airrack's doing an AMA. Go watch it.
StreamYard, fix this weird thing when music plays and makes it sound like we're speaking in a bathroom.
Yeah, it's like you were underwater for a second there. I was like, wait, what is that? It was like, what?
I'm trying to promote something. It's so frustrating. So go watch that in an hour from now if you have Boost or Max. If you don't, vidIQ.com, get yourself hooked up. And yeah, 1 hour from now, may not be too late to get your questions in. I'm not really sure. So there you go.
Also, much like Brandon has mentioned in the chat, if you're at Creator Now as well, you can check it out at Creator Now. So you have both options.
Sorry.
Yep.
I got so fixated on the way Boost and Max could get there. I'm missing a big portion of that. I apologize.
No worries.
Creator Now users also have access. All right, that's it. You can leave. We got a lot of subscribers today. Rob's very happy about that. AI Rob, not so much. Probably he would like you to unsubscribe. So pick a side. Is
And
it
clean his clogs.
I gotta get out of here.
I'm tethered to the headphone. Go.